gosh. Oh, I don't need that. Oh, hi. It's me, Vicky Marie. I think I'm on live now. I think I am, but I haven't got the camera on, so I can't tell. But anyway, let me know if you can see me and you can hear me okay. Can you hear me and see me okay? I don't know. Can you see me, hear me? So I was just about to go live, and what happened was my son broke a bottle of olive oil, a glass bottle of olive oil. So it was all over the kitchen floor, the glass, the oil, you can imagine. So that's why I haven't come on till now. There's been a bit of cleaning going on, because then the dogs decided they were going to lick up the olive oil that was all full of bits of glass, because it was a glass bottle of olive oil. So it was a little bit of, hi, oh, go, you can all see me. Hi, Joe H. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Chumba. Hi, Bad Fairy. So, yes, so I was all about to go live, and then, boom, that happened. So I've just spent the last 20 minutes cleaning up olive oil and glass off my kitchen floor and trying to keep the dogs from actually, licking up the broken glass. But anyway, never mind. It's done now. I think it'll still be there maybe for a couple of days, where I'll be skating around on the kitchen floor and treading on bits of glass. It's like you break something and you're still clearing it up for days after. But anyway, the most of it is cleared up now. Really messy. I mean, oh my God. And I mean, it was only a little bottle. It wasn't, thank God, it wasn't a great big bottle of olive oil. It was just a tiny little bottle, like one of these sample bottles that you get. And it just went everywhere. Honest to God, we're finding it in places where you couldn't even imagine it could have got to. But anyway, there you go. Oil. Oh my God. Anyway, so that put me off a little bit. And the reason I've come on live, because this is a spontaneous live, but the reason that I came on live, it's this Phillip Schofield. It's the gift that just keeps giving, isn't it? And it's going to give for quite a long time now. I don't know what's going to happen. And it just some of the things, I'm just thinking, I don't know where this is going to end. I think that this is like, it's huge. It's so huge. You wouldn't think that just a daytime TV show, and this sort of a bit of a scandal. We've had scandals before. There's been loads of scandals over the years. I mean, many, many years ago. Hi, the 411. Love your channel. Love it. In the... Bad Fairy's saying that bread is good to pick up small glass. So that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Anyway, so I just think this is going to be huge. It's one of those things that you think it shouldn't be important, because it's a daytime TV show. It's a celebrity who's been caught out doing something naughty or whatever. And, years ago, it was Frank Boff. I mean, anyone who's sort of my age or whatever will remember he was they found out he was taking cocaine and going to sort of orgy sex parties before going on the Good Morning TV, etc. And that was the end of him, but this is, I think this is bigger. I personally, I'll tell you now, I think it is bigger than Jimmy Savile. It's similar to the Jimmy Savile thing, but it's different in the senses we're living in an age of social media now. And I think this is going to reverberate right through everything. All the, I love you more. This is going to reverberate through British establishment society, because it's going to show people can't hide things now like they used to. I think there's been, so let's go through what's happened today. So first we had last night, it was Eamon Holmes, wasn't it, responding to whatever Phillip Schofield had tried to defend himself yesterday, and then last night Eamon Holmes did his interview that again scathing. ITV knew this, knew that. Holly knew this. Holly's finished as well. Holly is definitely finished. The best thing she could do now is just be quiet and pop up, you know, maybe in a year or so on something completely different. She might have a chance. But personally, I think there's a lot of things, there's so much going to come out, and Holly knew, she definitely knew. So what I think happened in this situation is Philip was seeing this young boy, which he has admitted to seeing, although he's saying that he only started seeing him when he was 16. I think what's happened is, as time's gone on, Philip likes young boys. He likes young boys, that's what he liked. And as this boy got older, I'm 100% certain, Philip, there's rumours already of a second boy. There'll always be different boys with Philip because that's what he likes. So that leads me to think, you know, bearing in mind of what's happened to his brother as well, you know, is there a reason for that? What happened in their childhood that they've both... Now, I know Philip is not proven guilty to actually have, you know, done anything with anybody underage yet, but I think it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. I worry for Philip in a way, because I think, I don't know if he's going to do something to himself or if the establishment's going to bump him off, because he's got so many secrets. He's guarding so many secrets, because for him to get away with this for so long, I think this is so... It happened, didn't it? After Jimmy Savile, there was all these rumours about the British establishment, etc. And then it sort of faded away again, didn't it? Why did it fade away? You know, it just nothing, all these super injunctions came in. And I want to mention something now, which you may or may not know about, but going into politics now, politicians, it's in those sort of parts of society as well. Now, if you know Michael Gove, who's a Conservative Member of Parliament, he left his wife and he started living with a young lad from his office, you know, but nobody's allowed to talk about that. You will not see that talked about at all in the British media, because he has an injunction out against that. Nobody's allowed to talk about it. I'll probably get into trouble now. I don't know how that affects YouTube or whatever, but they talk about it on Twitter. It's openly talked about on Twitter, because Twitter doesn't seem to have the same regulations. But he's another one. You know, I think this goes so far into... Just because somebody, you know, these politicians or these TV stars and whatever, they get married, it means nothing. They get married, that's a cover. I don't care that they're gay. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't care that they're gay. I wish they would be openly gay. But if they're not, they get married, they have families, etc., and it's all a cover. And it's not only, you know, TV stars that do it. Of course, it's politicians. And maybe, hopefully, it's something, because most of these people are older, if you like. Maybe this isn't happening now because people can be openly gay if they're a politician or if they're a TV star or whatever. Maybe it's a result of years ago when people couldn't be openly gay. But then that's one side of it. Being gay is totally different from being a child lover, isn't it? And, you know, I think with Phillip Schofield, I really do think that's exactly what's happened. I think Matthew got too old for him. He wasn't interested in him anymore. He likes younger boys. And, you know, that, to me, is probably what happened, and that's where the bitterness started. I can't believe that Matthew would have got annoyed about his wife, about Philip's wife. He always knew Philip was married. He would understand that that was a cover-up. You know, that was a cover for the way he was, etc. He would understand that. I think he probably got like annoyed with Philip, because Philip started showing interest in another young boy, and that's always going to happen. Oh, Sunflower, Charlemagne, I didn't know there was a second part of that interview. And as Chumba, you say there, yeah, don't care if someone's gay. It just means that it's absolutely irrelevant to me what someone's sexuality is. But obviously it matters, if what you're interested in is children, whether you're gay or straight. So, yeah, I wanted to mention about Michael Gove, which might get me into trouble, but it's sort of an open secret on Twitter that Michael Gove left his wife for a young lad. And I'm not saying he's below the age of consent, but nobody talks about that. That's why Michael Gove has never gone to be prime minister or whatever. He couldn't do it because his secrets about his private life would come out, wouldn't they? So that was one thing that I wanted to say. That to me, I think that Philip has outgrown, or Matthew has got too old for him, and that's, I think, is the root of that problem. Now, apparently, people are saying that he is going to go to the papers, Matthew, in the end. Something's going to come out, but I think these things. So the news tonight was he's been Phillip Schofield. He's been removed from the Prince's Trust as an ambassador or whatever. So they're releasing him now, but I don't believe that that wouldn't have been known. These things are known. The only time that these things ever come out and people get removed is when it comes into the public eye. It's not that it's not known in those circles. I think it's quite open in those circles. There's lots of things that are open, aren't there? Lots of scandals that are known within their circles, but nobody ever talks about outside that. It's like the public's not allowed to hear about them, but they're like common knowledge within those circles. So I'm like really suspicious of him being sort of removed as an ambassador for the Prince's Trust. Why was he even an ambassador in the first place? Why are all the things that he's sort of done connected to children and things like that? So yeah, I think probably it was a bit of an open secret, and now they're just sort of disowning him now because it's coming to the public eye, but they probably knew what was going on before anyway. What was the other thing I wanted to say? What happened in that house? Why have I written that down? What happened in that house? I'm not sure what that was. So I've made all these notes, and now I'm looking at the notes and thinking, what was that? Anyway, yeah, Michael Gove. Oh, so Holly. So I wanted to say about Holly. I think Holly definitely knew. So she knew that he was having a relationship with that boy, and she probably knew. I think that relationship, it's just got to have started from when he was younger. It's got to have, I think it's quite openly known that he knew him, from before he was 16. And then he was staying at the flat. ITV must have known they sent taxis for this boy when the boy was taken on this morning. There were taxis sent out to get him in the morning and bring him to work and take him home, etc. So they can't say that they didn't know. They knew. They definitely knew. And I think these things go much deeper than we know, But I think this is all going to come out now. So I feel like this is something that could bring down, well, it definitely bring down this morning. How can it continue in its same format? It's got to be completely changed. It'll definitely have brought down Holly. Holly's not. I mean, how do you feel about Holly? I mean, do you think she knew, didn't know? And we think maybe it doesn't matter, but it does matter, because that's someone who's on your TVs every day, talking to you, giving their opinions. These people influence people, and now it's coming out that it's all built on a lie, and not only a lie, it's a really revolting lie. You know, so when it happened with Jimmy Savile, it wasn't until he died that anything came out. It's not going to be like that now. In this day and age now, oh, that was what I was going to say. So you're looking at him and his brother, who are both probably involved in it. So you think, well, what happened to them? What happened to them when they were young? You know, that they should both, not only both be gay, which, you know, you can't help your sexuality. That's something you can't, you know, just can't help. But they should both be child lovers if it turns out to be that way. Something happened, didn't it? Something happened in their own childhood, probably. So it's like it's taking over my head a bit, because it's like so huge. Okay, so it's like things like, so he's been removed from the Prince's Trust. Well, if you look at the Prince William himself now, you know, I might upset people here, because I know that a lot of people think Prince William is perfect and they don't like Prince Harry and they don't like Meghan Markle, etc. But, you know, Prince William, if you know anything about him and the Prince of Pegging scandal, do you know about that? I mean, I say the scandal, but I don't think it's common knowledge. But again, things flit about on social media. You can't keep things secret on social media. You can keep them secret on the mainstream media because you can get an injunction, or you can, or people are too scared of their own careers or whatever to actually comment on people. But when you look at social media, that's where you find out what's really going on. And, you know, Prince William has hit the thank you, the 411, hit the like button. I can't see anything on here. I can't see if it's been liked or what's happened, but if you don't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great. You know, Prince William, he's not like the saint that everyone or that a lot of people think he is. He's not. You know, there's a lot of people would say that him and Kate, they just have a show relationship. You know, that it's like he's having an affair with somebody else. He's got this sort of Prince of Pegging because of his own sexual sort of proclivities. Is that a word? I don't know. But, you know, so, and I don't know that. I'm just telling you what you said. There's so many horrible things said about Prince Harry or Harry and Meghan, so many horrible things said about them. But, you know, there's just as many things that you could know if it could be shown in the mainstream media. The mainstream media is only allowed to say bad things about Harry and Meghan. It's not allowed to say all these things about William and Kate that are all going on under the surface. Oh God, I'm going to get assassinated. I shouldn't be saying this, because sooner or later someone's going to, you know. And I don't believe everything that I hear about them, but I believe some of it, you know, because I don't. Some of it will be true. Same as with Harry and Meghan. Some of it will be true. Some of it, what people say about Harry and Meghan, will be true, but probably not all of it. What is, personally, I prefer Harry to William, but I know not everyone feels like that. Meghan used a moon bump. What's a moon bump, Eileen? What is a moon bump? Yes, well, do you know this? Joe H is saying, I've heard about the pegging, but I tried not to believe it. I didn't even know about it. It was my son told me about it. So when I talk about social media, I always think of two parts to social media. You've got old people's social media, which is my social media, and then you've got young people's social media. And the social media that my son's on, and he's not on, you know, he's 26, he's not on the youngest part, which are probably the 18, 19-year-olds that are, you know, studying or whatever. His Twitter feed, if you like, or his YouTube feed is completely different to my feed. So he's seeing completely different things to me, and I'm seeing different things to him. And it's interesting. Charlie Angel is saying Michael Gove is not gay. Well, okay. I think you'll find he is, but anyway, maybe not, but he is. But yeah, sometimes my son tells me things that I didn't know, and I think, oh God, that's really interesting. And then sometimes, perhaps a bit more rarely, I don't know, but often because we're looking at different, total different scenarios, I'll say something to him and say, oh, I didn't know that. So it's interesting. I think we get a good between us. We get a good combination, because it's not just seeing all the things like for my age group or watching all the things for his age group. We get the combination, and between a big fake. What are you saying? She wasn't pregnant, or is she pregnant now then? Or I don't understand that. Why would she have a false tummy? I don't understand that. Mancunians have good gaydars. They do. Michael Gove is definitely gay. I'm sorry, but he is. He's living with a man. He left his wife, and he's living with a young lad. Well, I say a young lad. He's not. Don't get me wrong. He's not underage or anything, but he's a lot younger than Michael Gove. Put it that way. He is. Yeah. That's like one of those widely known secrets, if you like. It's a secret for the mainstream media, because he did get a super injunction out. Nobody's allowed to talk about it. Nobody is allowed to talk about Michael Gove's private life except here. I am on Facebook, on YouTube. But luckily for me, they don't care about what a small channel like mine's going to say about that. Doesn't matter. But Sky News can't say it, or BBC News can't say it. There's lots of things they can't say because there's a lot of injunctions go. If you look at do you know how many there's currently 50 members of parliament being investigated by the police for sexual offences? So we don't even know about it. We don't know who they are. It could be your MP, but they're under investigation for sexual offences. We don't ever get to hear about. There's so much that we don't get to know about. So this is what I feel about the ITV thing now. I think this is going to bring down, well, as I say, definitely it's going to bring down this morning. It's going to bring down Holly. Philip I don't think he'll be working in TV again. And there's much more to come out. And then I think it's going to reverberate a bit, because I think cracks are showing and people are going to start... it could be Philip himself. As he starts being dropped from all these things, he might turn around and say, and just blow it all. I mean, if he goes to prison, for example, or if he, ends up being convicted or whatever, well, he might want to talk about it then. He might decide to talk about it, or I think they've all got something on each other. That's how I feel. So nobody wants to, I don't think any of them are innocent, if you like. Maybe not guilty of criminal things, but I don't think any of them, there's so many people that may be implicated in one way or another, even if it's just like Holly, who didn't do anything wrong in the sense of, she's not the one that's had an affair with a young, someone who's under the age of consent. But her offence, that she's been complicit in it because she hasn't spoke about it, that she's lied about it. There'll be a range of different people who've done different things, either just allowing it to go on and not saying anything. Eamon said last night, didn't he? He said, where do you go with these complaints? And apparently Ruth did put a complaint in, didn't she? And but nothing was done about it. It's all a bit strange, because we're not getting to know. It's like, oh, she put a complaint in, but we don't know what the actual complaint was. why is it a secret now that she's not there anymore, is she? So, I don't know. So it's all just, as I've said quite a few times. Well, do you know what? People still do, David, have heterosexual relationships, but I think it's good that people can be open about their sexuality. I haven't got a problem with that at all. I do have a problem with people, whether it be men or women, but it's normally men grooming young people, whether it be a man or a woman, from underage, being underage. There's something that's not right, is it? At the end of the day, that's not right. And you can see that, gosh, when you think about when you were 14, 15, if you would have met someone like Phillip Schofield, whether you're a boy or a girl, if you would have met someone famous like that, taking you to nice restaurants, or I don't know, buying you nice presents, impressing you. I mean, you would have loved it, wouldn't you? That they would have taken a famous person taking that interest in you. Young people are easy to manipulate. That's why these people choose young people, because they are easy to manipulate. They couldn't do that to an old. That's what's happened, I think, with Philip and Matthew. He's got too old. He started demanding things for himself. He's got his own opinions. He doesn't look like a little boy anymore. He looks like a man. And Philip's not interested in men. He's interested in boys. So, he's going to start looking for other boys. And then Matthew's going to get annoyed about that. And I think he's probably had a hissy fit, to be honest, I reckon. So again, I've got on. I just had to say something about this, because it's almost something that we could just sit here on live stream for the next 3 weeks, and there'll always be something to talk about, because every couple of hours something's going to come up about this. Dark Moon Crow, you're saying there, yes, she allowed him and his brother. His brother is a proven child lover. He's been convicted. He's in prison, and they were around her children. So I don't really know. How that works. But yeah, Jackie, that's exactly it. When you're young, you're vulnerable. As you get older, you're not so vulnerable, because you don't believe everything that people tell you. But when you're young, of course, you're impressionable. Whatever those people tell you, you're going to believe it. They're buying you presents, they're treating you nicely. You've probably not got much money. So, this is just like fabulous. Oh, and something else, where did, well, I shouldn't really say that, because I need to look into that. But I'm just wondering, how did he actually get to meet Matthew in the first place? And why was Matthew? It reminds me a bit of, do you remember with the Jimmy Savile case? He would go to these approved girls' schools. He would go to so they were like borstalls for girls, really, virtually. And he would go to them, and he would pick up some of the girls in his sports car or whatever, and take them off and do whatever, I don't know, and bring them back. But these children that are in homes, for example, they're vulnerable. They're especially vulnerable. All children are vulnerable, but if they're living in a home, where who knows what their exact background is. I don't know what Matthew's background is. Where does he come from? Did he have a stable family behind him, or was he in a home? Yeah, I know he was in that Two-Face drama school, but where did he live with his parents, or was he in a home? I had a rumour that he was in a home. I don't know. Yeah, Phil was a patron. Believe me, I really think that this is going to rumble on for a long time. I think there's going to be massive things come out of it one way or another. And I do think it's going to reach into other parts of British society. It's not just going to be about ITV or This Morning. It's going to go further than that. It's going to go into our whole establishment. just like the Jimmy Savile case nearly did. So what happened with the Jimmy Savile case? It nearly did, and then it all seemed to die down. But it's not going to die down now because social media won't let it die down. That's the difference now. You know, you watch, if you're like me, I'll watch Sky News. Well, I don't even watch it now, to be honest. I just every now and again I go on to see what's breaking news. And if it's something interesting, especially interesting, I'll turn on Sky News or BBC or whatever just to see what's actually going on. But I never watch the mainstream news. You know, do you remember years ago it'd be like, oh, you'd watch the 9 o'clock news and then you'd watch the 10 o'clock news and you see what the BBC had to say and you see what ITV had to say. It's completely different now. You want your news, you turn on your YouTube or you turn on your phone and you get all these different news, and you can get news from all over the world. So right, what people saying here? Charity called Lost for Fun. Right, hang on, I might have missed something here. Let me see. Well, Jimmy Savile was old. I don't think Philip is like Jimmy Savile. Hopefully, not quite as bad, but ITV, yeah, he was quite young to work there, Rachel. I think you're right. He was almost too young to work there. But somebody said here, what are you saying there, the 411, about the charity called Lost for Vulnerable Children? What charity is that? Might have missed your original. Is that another charity that Phil was a patron of? Yeah, I think he might have been in care. We need to find out, don't we? Yeah. You know, Sunflower Charlemagne, you know, they went on a cruise together, didn't they? I saw something on one of these YouTube things that they were Savile and Phillip Schofield, but Phillip Schofield's wife was on the cruise as well. But also this friend of his, this Simon Schofield, which I think Simon Schofield might sort of be his boyfriend. Because anyway, again, news research. Yeah, and Jimmy Savile was so connected to like politicians. Mrs. Thatcher thought he was brilliant. You know, Prince Charles. I think there's something, I don't know, terrible. But anyway, we'll see. So all I wanted to really say was I think it's massive. It's already massive. I think it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not going to stop. It's not going to go away. I don't know I think, you know, I don't know what's going to happen to Philip. I think he may either end up in prison or I don't know where can he go now? But if he's got any sense, he would just shut up now. I think he should just shut up, go be quiet somewhere with his family, and then maybe one day he might be able to come back in some way or another, as long as no criminal charges are actually held against him. But I don't know. And then I also worry about this, the young lad, because are they going to be gunning for him? I mean, what's going to happen to him? Where is he? Where is he now? And who's looking after him? Who's protecting him now? Or is he going to go to the newspapers? Or, I mean, it's a worry. I know. Where are the parents? I don't. Samantha, you're saying where are his parents? I think he might have been in care or something, but I don't know. We're going to find out all these things. Today I couldn't do much research today because I had Spanish classes, but tomorrow I've got some time and I'm going to look into things a bit more. There'll probably be more news by tomorrow anyway. Okay, well, thank you for listening to my my rant, and I will see you at some point tomorrow. There'll be another video going out in the morning with a couple more Emma interviews for our back to basics about Nicola as we wait for the inquest, which seems to be taking forever. Yeah, news tonight, there is another young boy. Yeah, there was always going to be another young boy, wasn't there? I think that's what happened between them. That's probably why Matthew got upset. as I said before, I think he's got too old for Philip. Philip's cast his eye to a younger boy. That's just unfortunately the way of it. So yes, we're going to watch Eamon later on GB. I can't believe I'm watching GB News because there's so many people on there that I don't like. Like I can't stand Nigel Farage for a start. So sometimes when I went on to watch the interview last night, and they put all these adverts on for different programs, and one of them was Nigel Farage, and I thought, I don't know if I can watch this, but obviously I wanted to watch the interview, so I will watch the interview with Eamon tonight. Yep, Michael Barrymore was married. Being married means nothing. Being married, having children, doesn't mean men aren't gay. There's a million men do it. They reckon that 1 in 3 men are gay. So, do the maths, really. Flashback. Do you love Nigel? Do you? Oh, God. The only time I ever really liked, I remember years ago, he was on Gogglebox, wasn't he, with that couple from Gogglebox, and he went and I did like him better then, because I thought, well, at least he says what he thinks. I like people who say what they think, whether I agree with them or not, doesn't matter. He said what he thinks, and I think that's always a good thing. But I just don't agree with anything he says. But I can see that people, he's got no filter. I like people who've got no filter. I don't like people who are just careful what they say because they're thinking, oh, well, I don't know that, especially politicians, or, I can't say that. I like people who say what they think, what they really think, and that's I like conviction politicians. Again, whether I agree with them or not, it doesn't matter. But if that's what they really believe, but I don't like politicians who are just saying it because they think that's what people want to hear. That I don't like. But who is that? Did your son go on this morning and speak to Pauline and speak to Eamon? I think Eamon's a nice guy. Eamon and Ruth, they're nice people, aren't they? That's it. You can tell when someone's nice. You can tell. Oh, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. I can feel myself falling asleep now because it's like an hour ahead here. This is why I don't normally do streams in the evening, because here in Spain it's late in the evening. It's an hour ahead. So here in Spain now it's 10 o'clock or 10, more or less. And also I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that's normally by now I'm tucked up in bed and asleep. So tonight I can feel that I'm getting tired and my voice is getting tired, and I've been talking all day in Spanish classes, etc. So they were lovely. Yeah, 411. And you've got some really interesting little videos on there, and anyway, we'll talk about that another time when I'm not so tired. But nighty night. Yeah, catch you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Remember to always live and love very carefully, and avoid Phillip Schofield, for God's sake, like the plague. And I will, until I see you again, may your God always go with you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I have got my lippy on. I've got my lippy on. And everyone has liked my hair being up. I've had all these nice comments about my hair being up. But yeah, in the summer, it's practically always up. So I don't cut it because I don't like short hair. So I just put it up. It's easier to put up. If you have short hair, it's actually more complicated because you have to blow dry it every day or do something with it.